So we have to talk about BlackBerry's stock again, as there is just a ton of incredible stuff currently happening. And despite still pulling back from the second squeeze at the beginning of the month, we've actually just seen some incredible 10% gains, where we are currently pulling back from, however. So what we are going to do today is give you an updated insight into what is happening to the stock and break down exactly whether it is still a buy at the end of this video. And as it is absolutely crucial to know what we have to talk about today before buying the stock, make sure to stay tuned for that. Before we jump right in, however, just hit that subscribe button down below. And as we'll keep you updated on breaking news and awesome trading opportunities every single day, subscribing would not only help us but also you. So there is really no excuse for not smashing the subscribe button. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you feel so. Alright, let's start talking about the stock, especially about the astonishing jumps in price we've seen recently. In fact, BlackBerry's stock spiked more than 650% at the beginning of the year, while gapping up more than 100% after the following pullbacks. And although the fundamentals we are going to talk about in a second are also crucial to consider before buying the stock, the massive spikes recently had a completely different reason: massive hype from retail traders. In fact, after getting mentioned thousands of times on forums like Wall Street Bets, the stock's trading volume suddenly surged to as much as 37 million, compared to the average back then of 5.3 million. Just like we've seen it happening before, retail traders then basically forced hedge funds to cover their short positions while driving up the price due to them having to buy back in. And due to the stock getting shorted massively before to pretty much all-time lows since 2002, such a short squeeze was definitely possible, which resulted in the massive price jumps. But as you probably know, BlackBerry used to rock a super high growth tech stock, as it was literally the top leader of the mobile market. However, as a ton of other businesses such as Apple and Samsung entered the market and shifted to the smartphones we know today, BlackBerry struggled to compete and abandoned the mobile manufacturing segment a few years ago. However, as previously said, the company has entirely shifted its focus and now delivers software and security to companies and governments while providing machine learning and cloud services with the main emphasis on security. And because the following is critical to consider for our projection at the end of the video, we'll now look at some essential fundamentals of the company, starting up with the company's somewhat underwhelming quarterly numbers from earlier this year. Revenue was only $210 million, a 25% decrease from the same period last year. However, this drop was most likely caused by a number of short-term difficulties. The companies at security sector, in particular, suffered from a problematic contrast with last year, when the pandemic prompted many companies to look for ways to secure their remote workers, generating some huge profits for BlackBerry. Furthermore, a ton of chip shortages massively slowed automotive manufacturing last quarter, impacting BlackBerry's QNX division, which we'll look at in a moment, and the company's intellectual property revenue was reduced due to continuing talks over the sale of many of its patents. But despite these challenges, BlackBerry is still a $7 billion enterprise. And if there is a light at the end of the tunnel, it could come from the new QNX platform, which is essentially a real-time operating system designed specifically for electric vehicles. Furthermore, the global shift to EV will be a major driver of revenue growth for the QNX system, which was also developed in collaboration with Amazon. And despite the recent moves not being based on fundamentals, BlackBerry deserves huge credit for stabilizing its business, although its software and services segment still faces significant hurdles in the cybersecurity industry. Fundamentals, on the other hand, don't matter all that much if you're in for the squeeze. And given that BlackBerry is one of the most mentioned companies on Wall Street Bets right now, some additional hype from Reddit with retail investors buying more is pretty likely. Alright, with that being it for today's video, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and want to support our mission of providing free financial information to everyone here on YouTube, please ensure you're subscribed and definitely consider leaving a like. As mentioned before, it really means the world to us. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.